Hi, my name is Allison Lacey, and I'm going to draw my life. I've always dreamed of becoming a teacher ever since I was a little girl. I would always imagine my classroom full of students calling me Miss Lacey, and I would even force my brother and sister to play school with me. They hated it. And when they wouldn't play with me, I was forcing my dolls and my stuffed animals to be my students. I've always loved school. I never really had problems making friends, and I always genuinely enjoyed school. 3 of my favorite teachers were my first grade teacher, Mrs. Meinhardt, my 3rd grade teacher, Mrs. Gulbranson, and my 5th grade teacher, Mr. Conger. They've inspired me in so many ways to be a great teacher, and I know what they have taught me will reflect in my teaching. My mom has always been one of my biggest inspirations. She's always wanted to be a teacher too, but it didn't happen. She married my father at a young age. She was 20 and he was 19, and they're still together to this day. Happily married. So the school thing never really happened. They tried again after that, but instead decided to get full-time jobs and buy a house. We still live in this house today. That was a huge accomplishment for them, to buy their own house at such a young age. Now school? Nope. They decided that it was time to have a family. So they got together and popped out 3 kids. I have an older brother and a younger sister. So in high school, I applied to 3 different colleges, and I always wanted to go to Laverne, but never thought I could get in and didn't know how I was going to pay for it. So instead of going to any of those, I chose Citrus. I was at Citrus for 4 long years, but I finally graduated with my AA in language arts, and that was a huge accomplishment for me. So then I'm thinking that I want to go to ULV, but again, I didn't think I was going to get accepted, and I didn't know how I was going to pay for it. But my counselor encouraged me to try, so I did, and I was accepted. Except my parents couldn't really help me out because they got into really bad credit card debt and had no money. Unfortunately, we had to sell our boat, we had to sell our trailer, but luckily we were able to save our house. But it was a really hard time for all of us. But we stuck through, and I had to get loans. Fortunately, I was denied getting loans on my own, but my brother and my grandpa were approved to be co-signers for me so that I could go to ULV. 2 years later, I graduated with my BA. I could not be happier. 1 step closer to becoming a teacher. I was so proud of myself. And although I'd like to take all the credit, there's no way I could have done it without my mom, my dad, my boyfriend, my sister and brother, and my grandpa, and all my friends. Oh, and my dog, Bodie. He's my best friend. But I especially want to thank my boyfriend for always being there. He has never failed to encourage me and support me through everything I've been through, especially school. And he offered to help me pay for my student loans, which there's a lot of. But even though I'm in a lot of debt, the thought of being Miss Lacey is worth it. It's been a long journey to get to where I am right now, and a lot of obstacles were thrown in my way. But I overcame them, and I'm definitely happy. This quote relates to me in so many ways. Don't limit yourself. Many people limit themselves to what they think they can do. You can go as far as your mind lets you. What you believe, you can achieve. I didn't think I was good enough to do something many times, but over and over again, I surprised myself. I am very proud of what I've accomplished this far and have so much more ahead of me. Don't ever lose faith in yourself. You'd be surprised at what you can achieve when you set your mind to it, and I hope to instill that in my own students one day. Even if you don't succeed the first time, keep trying. And please, never give up.